Hi everyone, I'm Nicole Garitano. I am so excited to be here today as one of the panelists for Just a Queen Building Her Empire Summit. Big thank you to Nellie and Chrissy for having me. So I am an energetic, intuitive coach and consultant, and I use human design to help women really step into their full potential and purpose in both their personal life and their business. So today we're going to be talking about why you're badass by design and how your human design helps you define, align, and shine in your business. So first off, you're probably wondering, if you don't already know, what is human design? And so human design is actually a pseudoscience where there was a synthesis of 5 modalities. And those 5 modalities that have been brought together are the Chinese I Ching, astrology, Kabbalah, the chakra system, and quantum physics. And so what is your design? So what I want you to do right now is I want you to go visit www.mybodygraph.com to run your free chart. You can go ahead, and I'll show you here on this screen. When you log into the website, you'll see at the top there's a free body graph right up here. I've circled it here. Go ahead, you can pause this video, go visit that site, click free body graph, put in your birth information, and when you're done, come back and join us. All right, so hopefully you have run your design, and there are 5 main types when you go ahead and run your human design. And those 5 types are manifestors, which make up about 9% of the population, generators that make up about 35%, manifesting generators that also make up about 35%. Then we have projectors that equate to 20% of the population, and reflectors that are only 1%. So as you can see, the generators and manifesting generators make up the bulk of our population. So now I'm just going to go through each type and give you an overview of what your type would look like and what you bring to the business world. So first we're going to talk about manifestors, and that's that 9%. So if you're a manifestor, your strategy is that you are here to inform others. You have big ideas, you can't wait to initiate these ideas, and when other people don't want to help you initiate or help you move these ideas forward, you'll often get angry at other people. You have a lot of strong energy, and so sometimes your personality can be too much for others. That energy can be too much, and you may have been told that, throughout your life growing up or in your different work environments. And you are truly most in alignment when you are at peace. So when you're informing and you're able to initiate your big ideas and people are listening and taking action, you'll have an overwhelming sense of peace about this. Some of your greatest strengths are really embedded in that energy that you have. You're very driven individuals. You can be very influential, very powerful in your spheres of influence, typically always very successful, really impulsive, so not afraid to take those risks. And then also manifestors will also have this maybe air of mystery about them because no one really knows what idea you're creating next. The weaknesses come in around just not being self-aware, and this goes for all the types. If we're not self-aware, we can fall easily into our weaknesses. And so manifestors will tend to be angry and irritable. They might come off as being overly self-absorbed, not being part of the team, can be very impatient with other people, and sometimes a bit secretive. And so the business magic that manifestors really bring is that you are the great innovators. You're here to get things done and create. Nothing makes you happier than when your ideas are all coming to fruition and people are working on them. You have this really intense energy source, and it really allows you to accomplish so much very quickly. And so you're really best to be creating, ideating, and then really handing off the work to others. You're going to get bogged down in the mundane if you're not in a constant state of creation and then initiating projects. You just have to be sure that you build in time for rest for both your mind and your body, or you'll burn out. So now we'll move on to the generators, which I said make up 35% of the population. So that's a big percentage. And so we have a lot of generators out there doing work. And so your strategy as a generator is that you're here to respond. And you have this abundance of energy to do your work The only thing is, when you're waiting to respond, you really need to go with your gut level instinct. So when you really tap into your knowing within your body, you'll get a strong sense of yes or a strong sense of no. And so you need to take that time to tap into your gut and really get that strong yes or no. Because the downfall for you is that if you say yes and later you realize it should have been a no, you will fall into deep frustration. You'll still finish the job because that's part of your integrity and part of your design. You'll see the job through, but there'll be a lot of frustration around that piece of work or that project. And so when you're truly in alignment and you're like a hell yes to the projects and work you want to do, you feel extremely satisfied. Your greatest strengths as a generator are that you're super energetic. You're really a master of your craft. You have this energy that is sustainable over long periods of time. It's like the Energizer Bunny. You can go and go and go and go and go. And you naturally have a very deep self-awareness about you. Your weaknesses really come in when you fall into that frustration. Sometimes that frustration will lead a generator to quitting too soon. There'll also be a lot of frustration around, I just can't make this happen in my own will. And you're not supposed to be able to make it happen in your own will. You're supposed to wait and respond, and the best opportunities will really come to you. Another weakness that you can fall into is just feeling stuck, stuck in that grind. And so your business magic as a generator is that you are the creative builders. You're here to work and really do work that lights you up, that you're passionate about. And like I said, because you have that sustainable energy source, you can accomplish great things with lots of drive and stamina. You just keep pushing and pushing, and you can keep going and going until the work and the project are done. And you're really happiest when you let your work and creative ideas find you, rather than pushing and trying to make something happen, like I said before, within your own will. And the biggest thing you need to remember in business is that you have to tap in to your intuition and trust your gut around any business projects, business ventures. So now we'll move on to manifesting generators. And manifesting generators make up the other 35% of that 70% that I talked about. And they are truly a combination of a manifester and a generator brought together. So if you're a manifesting generator, you are here to both inform and respond. And you really enjoy doing lots of tasks and lots of projects at the same time, and you like to get through them like speed fire very rapidly. And you have all that stamina to really see the projects through. A lot of times manifesting generators will attempt to work on projects alone, mainly because they get very impatient and they really feel that the rest of the world and other people can't keep up with their fast pace. And so they'll just want to do the project alone. But you won't be able to do that. You really need a team around you, and when certain tasks get too mundane, you need to be able to hand those off, particularly to a generator, so that that task can be seen through to the end. And when you're in alignment, you feel a great sense of satisfaction and peace at the same time. Your greatest strengths as a manifesting generator are that you're energetic, just like the generator. You can do many things at once, like I said before. You're really good at finding shortcuts. So you're great to have on a team to be able to look at something and say, oh, instead of that many steps, we could probably get it down to these 3 steps. You're also extremely self-aware, and you have that sustainable energy, much like the generator does. So you can keep going and really see things through to completion if it's a project that lights you up. The weaknesses really hinge around that level of anger and frustration, the fact that manifesting generators can get extremely impatient with others on their team. It may appear to others that you're skipping important steps along the plan or the path that's been laid out. You really try to make things happen. And so sometimes that can look like a weakness or be perceived as a weakness by others in your work groups or circles. You hate waiting, and you won't always finish what you start because of the impatience and the not wanting to wait. So when you become more self-aware, you can see where these feelings or energies are cropping up in you during certain projects, and you can either delegate effectively or be able to speak up and explain why the project no longer lights you up. And your business magic is that you are the risk-taking initiators. things would not happen without our manifesting generators. So you are really the master of imagination. Like, you can visualize in your mind exactly what you're seeing, exactly what you want to bring to fruition, and you can see it all the way through to the outcome. And you're really good at doing that and dreaming into your projects before you share them with other people. So you're really good at creating tons of excitement around your projects and ideas. You're an extremely fast worker, and you're very adept at multitasking, which brings a lot of magic to any business team. The biggest thing you need to be aware of is just developing that patience, because that's going to help you move your ideas forward with the right team in place. And now we'll move on to our projectors. So the projectors have a little bit different type of energy. So if you're a projector, your strategy is that you have to wait for the invitation, which can sound really daunting and even frustrating at times. But you have to wait, because if you don't wait, then you won't be seen or heard. And that will lead you to feeling very bitter with those around you that aren't seeing and hearing you. But you really have the ability to see the big picture. And so you have a lot of guidance that you're able to provide when you are invited in. You also have this really deep, penetrating energy, and you're able to connect deeply with other people and really see the visions they have for themselves, and maybe even sometimes see the potential within them that they can't see for themselves. And so when you're in alignment and you're being seen and heard and being able to guide, you truly feel successful. The projector strengths are that they're really good at managing and directing others. Projectors tend to be super insightful. They're very intuitive and can tap into that inner knowing. Projectors also tend to have like this magnetism to them, or they're attractive to other people. They naturally attract other people in. And they're such a great resource for really helping groups focus their energy and create great things. Weaknesses for projectors are that sometimes others will perceive them as being lazy, because projectors don't have the same amount of energy to work like a generator. So they really need to be mindful of where they're spending their time, and that can come off as laziness to others. Projectors also can burn out very easily. Projectors tend to be highly sensitive, to other people, to not being seen or heard. A lot of times they may lack self-awareness around these emotions, and they can also become bitter. So self-awareness and growing in self-awareness is so key for projectors. The business magic that projectors bring is that they are the wise evaluators. So if you're a projector, you are really here to be the wise guide when you're invited to share your knowledge. You just intuitively and instinctually know what needs to happen within a business framework or within the team that's working in that business. And you can see that bigger picture and really cast a vision for the entire team. And that really frees the other types up to truly work in their zone of genius. Just remember, without an invitation as a projector, you will not be seen or heard. That doesn't mean that you can't be sharing your ideas on social media or be giving presentations. The right people will be attracted into your energy field. It's just more challenging sometimes for projectors to go out and actually create sales for themselves. They do much better sharing what they know and then waiting for the right people to invite them in to work with them. You also have to be aware that you are very susceptible to burnout. And so while you can sometimes feel the push to want to work like a generator, it's very important that you don't do that. And finally, we have our reflectors. So for reflectors, this is only 1%, so it's very rare that you may meet a reflector or that you may be one. But if you are, the strategy for the reflector is that you have to wait 28 days before making a decision. So reflectors truly are on that lunar cycle of 28 days. And the main reason they have to wait, and this is their strategy in making a decision, is because when you looked at your body graph, all those centers that were colored in on yours, a reflector has no centers colored in on their body graph. So they are literally taking in the energy of everyone around them. And so if they make a quick decision, they could be making a decision based on the energy they're picking up on and not truly what would be in the highest and best for them. And so reflectors are there taking everything in their environment. They're amazing amazing observers of what's going on around them. They really enjoy talking to other people and sharing their ideas. However, projectors will tend to fall into disappointment when others don't listen to them. And a lot of times projectors will be really surprised by an invitation, or they'll feel a deep sense of belonging in a group. And when they have that feeling, they know they're truly in alignment. If you're a projector, your strengths are that you're talkative, you're super passionate about your thoughts, your ideas, the causes that you support. Reflectors typically have a really unique personality, have a unique perspective. We just see them in all their uniqueness. Reflectors tend to really want peace and harmony and prosperity for all. They see the unity across the collective and in the community. And they truly reflect the health of the community because they're taking in the energy of everyone around them. Weaknesses of reflectors are that they tend to be highly sensitive. Like I said before, they can fall easily into disappointment. They like a lot of consistency because that makes them feel balanced and in flow. And that can sometimes be frustrating to those working with them. They really struggle to stay grounded because they are taking in all that energy. And they may tend to be clingy, like needing that reassurance and guidance from others, or that sense of belonging that we talked about before. And the business magic that the reflector brings is that they are truly the great evaluator. If you're a reflector, you are here to reflect within the company or community that you're in what the needs are. You have this deep sense of knowing what clients need, and you can share this with the larger team. But you do have to wait to be asked before sharing your insights. And remember, as you have this knowing, as these ideas come up, you truly need to feel into them, wait those 28 days before sharing with your team. And remember, it's so important as a reflector in the business world particularly to include quiet alone time in your schedule and really get enough sleep so that you can fully recharge and get rid of the energy that you've picked up from other people throughout the day. So that was my very high-level overview of your type. I truly hope that it's given you some more insight into how you show up in the world, how you show up in your business. I have a special gift for you for being part of the summit. If you visit my offerings page on my website, and I have that down here below, my Kajabi site, you can access my free mini course by using the code EMPIRE. So I hope you take advantage of that offer, and I'd love to stay connected with you. So here you can find my email, how to find me on Instagram, and on Facebook. And then I just want to share that the resources that I use for this presentation. Human design is extremely complex, and so even as a human design practitioner, I am continually learning, crafting my skills, and so I use a lot of resources. And these two books in particular, Understanding Human Design by Karen Curry, and the definitive book of Human Design by Linda Bonnell and Ra Urahu, are extremely beneficial in putting together my presentations, serving my clients. And for those of you whose interest has been piqued today, these are awesome books to pick up if you want to delve deeper into human design. So thank you again for being part of the summit. I hope to see you on Instagram or Facebook, or please email me because I'd love to stay connected. Take care.